So I got little wee little arms. To make this beautiful dress. Do you like my dress? And you can do all sorts of activities in it. Ooh, I feel like a ninja. Be like, hey everyone, it's Joanne here, and today is our first segment of How Does She Do That? Yeah, and today we are going to learn how to make bags. And not just any bags. This bag used to be 25 plastic bags, like the ones from Walmart kind of bags. And we're going to learn how to fuse them together to make one recyclable, beautiful, reusable bag. And for this one, you can tell I have two different types of plastic bags. And they're both from this store called World's Market. I really liked the design on the plastic bags. I really feel like I am a crazy bag lady ever since I learned how to do this. So, there you go. Go to dance class, any type of sports. This is great to put your stinky shoes in because then you don't worry about it, because then when it gets all janky like, you can just throw it away. We'll use these for sandwich bags too. So if you go to work and you need a sandwich bag, you'd be like, whoa, I made it. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to take you step by step. So just bear with me on this, and yeah, let's get started. Alright, so what you need for this project is you need at least 15 to 25 bags. The more, the better, because the stronger it will be when you fuse them together. Today, we are going to do a big size bag and not a little bag. This is just a demo of what a little bag looks like. We're going to do a bigger bag. So for that, I am going to use these Target bags. I really like the color. Red's my favorite color, and these were holiday bags, and I collected them, and yeah, so I'm going to use them. And you can see how big they are. That's how big they are. So if you have any oversized bags, get them. If not, you could totally use the regular standard plastic bags that you get at grocery stores, like Walmart, for instance. And you could just do the same thing. You just might need a little bit more bags for them. Another item you need for this product is parchment paper. I would get the longest, the biggest parchment paper that you could find. One roll is all you need for this, but you definitely need parchment paper. No wax paper, no foil paper, no saran wrap, just plain old parchment paper. Next, of course, is you need scissors, and you need, or can I point to it? There we go. You need an iron and an iron board. I feel like I'm so far away from you guys, but I need to be. So what you do is you're going to grab your plastic bag, just one of them for right now, and you're going to flatten it out. So this one, it's all crumply and whatnot. So I'm going to take the handles from the plastic bag. I'm going to take one of them, then I'm going to take the end where the little gap is in between there and straighten it out like that. And then do that to the other side as well. This is a nice, flat, straight bag. Alright, so now what you're going to do is, since the bag is flat, you're going to cut the handles off. So you're just going to cut where this is right here, this flat surface, you want it to match that. Handle number one. Handle number two. And it doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't have to be neat. The handles are cut off. Now you're going to take the bottom side, which is already sealed, and you're going to unseal it. So that means that the little, you're going to take the scissors and you're going to cut about 2 inches from the seam at the bottom to make the whole bag open up. It's very difficult. Okay, there you go. And you open it up, both sides are open. Alright, now what you're going to do is take one of the sides. You're going to completely, after you cut both ends, you're going to completely flatten out the bag. you flatten it out, you're going to choose what corner you want to cut, and you're just going to cut along the side to open up the bag completely. Your bag, you're going to take one corner, and you're just going to go down the side with it. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then as you can see, it opens up the whole bag. Before we proceed anymore, I just want to give you guys a forewarning is that I'm going to be doing different camera angles, and since I just have a computer camera, I am going to be editing this, and it's going to be really, really choppy. It's not like my videos are already choppy anyways, but it's going to be extra choppy today. Just bear with me on the choppiness of this video. Okay, so we are down here on the floor now because the bags are so big when they're cut out. So here I have about 25 bags already cut and flattened out. So what you want to do, and this is another important thing, is that you want to make sure that every bag is the same design and the same color. I don't want to have a different assortment of bags because then the different colors will mix and fuse together and it won't look that great. So what you want to do for this, as my head is chopped off halfway, is you want to cut down the middle because you want this side is going to be the front of your bag, this side is going to be the back of your bag. So you just want to cut down the middle. So align them as best as you can. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. And we're going to go right down the middle. Take all your 25 bags that you cut and you laid out, all the handles free, the sides are cut, and take them all in a clump and just cut right down the middle. And then what you're going to do is separate them. As you can see, we're going to start with the first side. So this is all ready for fusing. So let's start fusing. For parchment paper, what you need to do is have two sheets. One for underneath the plastic bags that you're fusing, and then one on top when you're actually putting the iron down. When you fuse it together, the plastic is going to melt. So this is what the parchment paper is for, so it doesn't get on your ironing board, I can't say that word, and your iron as well. So this is the parchment paper. As you can see, it's on the whole entire ironing board, and you have your hot iron. Make sure it's set to the highest for your iron, and now you're going to lay the plastic on here like so. And just start from the end. It's kind of like how you're actually ironing a shirt. You're going to start from the end and work your way over. I'm going to take another piece of parchment paper and lay it on top of the plastic. What I'm going to do is start fusing this with the iron. And what you do is you go over it quickly to the sides and you'll start smelling it. So it's really, really wise to have a very good ventilated place because you don't want to be breathing in all that toxic nastiness because it's nasty. So what you do is, yep, iron's hot, is you just go over like so. And you'll start seeing it shrink, and you'll also hear a popping noise as well. Very weird. Alright, so I ironed my first half, so what I'm going to do is just scoot it over the ironing board because you need to fuse the whole entire thing. So make sure your parchment paper is aligned in the bottom. And just move this down a little bit further and iron it again. And you do that to the whole thing until the whole side is fused. After that, you're going to flip it over and repeat. One side is fused. As you can tell, kind of still looks like a plastic bag, but it is fused together, but not that great. So this is when you need to flip it over on the other side, and you can see that it's still loose and all crinkly and stuff. And like I said before, repeat. So just fuse the other side as well. Last step, I promise. So now you have your beautiful fused strip. And what I did is when it was still warm, I pinched it together. And then when it cooled like this. So it could be a natural handle, right? Or you could do, oh snap, a headband. I could do that, right? No? Oh, that's so sweet. You could do a headband. You really could. If you guys want me to do a headband tutorial on plastic, you have 2 fused sheets of plastic. And as you can tell, they're still really wrinkled. You're going to go back after you trim it and then fuse a little bit more until you get the smoothness and consistency that you want. But be careful, because if you go too long fusing it, you'll get, I don't know if you can see it, these little holes in the plastic. So just be careful with it that you don't over melt it. Lay them together side by side, preferably because they're going to be different sizes. So the biggest one on bottom, the smallest one on top, and you're just going to trim the edges so that they match together. It doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to fuse the edges together, so it's okay if the edges are a little bit uneven, but you don't want them too uneven. So just trim it up a little bit. And that's all I'm going to do for trimming, because I'm going to fuse them. Now let's talk to you about fusing the edges. So what you're going to do is have them both upside down. You're going to have one dirty side up and the other is dirty side down. And you're going to have the edges. It's kind of like sewing, where you need to have the edges together. And what you're going to do for one side is you're going to just fuse one side together. So I would give yourself, when you're doing this on the ironing board, is make like a mark. So only have the parchment paper a couple inches over, so then you can fuse it and you have a direction of how wide you're going to have the fuse together. Select what opening you want your bag to be, and then the rest you're going to seal it. So I did one corner, and I'm going to show you an example of when you flip it on the outside, it's going to look like this. And what you're going to do at the end is you're going to seal this so it has like a clean finish, because right now it looks all weird like. You're going to close it back up like this, and you're going to fuse this, and you're going to fuse this, and you're going to leave this open. Make sure you don't fuse all 4, because then you made yourself like a plastic pillow. So all 3 of my sides are fused, and you're pretty much treating this how you would treat fabric. After you sew your edges and your fabric is inside out, what you do to make the edges cleaner is you trim a little of the excess material off the edges. But now, oh, you want to know my favorite, the diet version? This is my April's favorite. The saying on it, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. Yeah. Not gonna lie, when I flipped that bag inside out, that was really hard for a big bag. So my suggestion is that if you're doing a small bag, don't worry about it, because it's not going to be as hard. But for a big bag, just be careful. But let me show you what the bag looks like now. Alright. Yeah. Okay, so this is part of your bag. And it's got plethora of space. We're going to make the handles on the bag. What you need for this is, remember in the beginning of the tutorial when I told you to cut off the handles and the bottom of the bag? Hope you didn't throw those away because you need them. Sorry, I forgot to tell you. I know. So you're just going to collect every single piece of scrap from the plastic bag that you cut off. Even if they're fused or they're not fused, just take all the pieces and put them together because we're making handles with these bad boys. I have all the leftover handles here, and what I did is I actually had some regular size Tarjay bags. So I just took one of the bags because I didn't want it to be full red because then it wouldn't really contrast with my bag. So I'm just kind of mixing it up a little bit with red and white. So all you do is you just take your leftover handles and your leftover scraps. You make a long, probably like a good, I don't know, a good measuring stick length, if that makes sense. And you're just going to kind of spread them out a little bit. And then what you're going to do, and this is on parchment paper, and then what you do is you roll it up as a plastic roll, and you pinch the corners like so, and then just kind of fold it over and lay it flat. And you're going to make one flat fused plastic long strip thing, and it's not going to look pretty, so don't freak out. And all you're going to do is just go over it like this a lot of times until it's completely fused together. And this is going to take a little while, and after you do this side, you're going to flip it over and do the other side. So let's see how this turned out. And you can open it up, pull it down. Alright, so now it's just one plastic fused mess. Okay, so now I have my two handles that are fused. And so what I'm going to do is just put them together like so and trim them so they are even. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just put them together like so and trim them so they are even. Last step, I promise. So now you have your beautiful fused strip. And what I did is when it was still warm, I pinched it together. And then when it cooled like this, so it could be a natural handle, right? Or you could do, oh snap, a headband. I could do that, right? No? Do a headband. You really could. If you guys want me to do a headband tutorial on plastic, like it and comment down below. I swear I'll do it. I really will. I'm not gonna lie. So what you're going to do for the last step for the handles is on each side of the inside of the bag, you are going to fuse the handle with the bag. So take this, put it on the inside, take a piece of parchment paper, place it, can you see it? Place it right here, fuse away, and then do the same thing to this end, like so, and then you have your handle. Do you see what I'm getting at? And I'll do that and show you guys what it looks like. Okay, so here is the final bag. As you can see, both of my handles are fused together. This is the other side of what it looks like. Here's this side of what it looks like. It's kind of uneven, but it's okay. And so yeah, and you can put whatever you want in it. Let me step back a little bit. And just carry it around. Be like, look my bag. Yeah. I made it. I hope you guys liked my tutorial video on how to do that. Plastic bag style. And this is a great way to recycle your plastic bags if you feel guilty for throwing them away. I know back at home, recycling is a very inconvenient thing to do. So if you have a lot of plastic bags and you can't use them up and you're getting a whole bunch, this is a great way to reuse them, recycle them, give them as little party favors. You can do a lot of things with them. Like me on Facebook, Sweet 16 Fan, YouTube, Duran Lynn. I'm on Twitter, Tumblr, Pinterest, Instagram. I'm everywhere. Yeah, it's kind of weird. See you guys!